Hey there! Welcome back! You know that feeling when you run into Costco for something small, like milk, and somehow end up pushing out a cart filled with a patio set, a mountain of snacks, and maybe even a kayak? It happens to all of us. But let's be honest, one of the biggest draws is always the deli section. Those ready-to-go meals seem like lifesavers after a long day. They practically whisper, "Dinner's solved, no mess, no fuss." Here's the problem. Not every one of those meals is the win it looks like. Some are bland, some are greasy, and some just feel like throwing money in the trash. So today, I'm saving you time, money, and disappointment. We're talking about 10 Costco-prepared meals that are better left on the shelf. And before we jump in, I want you to be part of this too. Drop a comment as we go. Have you tried any of these? Did you find a way to fix them? Let's help each other out, because nobody deserves a sad dinner. All right, let's dive in. Number 10. The Tortellini Pasta Salad. On paper, it sounds like a dream. Cheesy tortellini, bits of salami, fresh mozzarella, all tossed together. It looks like the perfect side dish for a summer BBQ or even a quick lunch. But here's where things go downhill. The pasta is almost always overcooked, turning it into a mushy mess. Instead of a refreshing, zesty salad, what you actually get is heavy, greasy, and bland. The dressing is the main culprit. It's oily and flat, with zero brightness. Instead of making the pasta and cheese pop, it just smothers everything. And it's not just me saying this. One Costco shopper put it bluntly, brought it to a potluck and regretted it. The pasta was soggy, the whole thing tasted oily, and honestly, I was embarrassed serving it. Ouch! For nearly $20 a container, you expect something at least decent. Instead, it feels like paying restaurant prices for disappointment. My take? Skip it. If you want a tortellini salad, buy fresh ingredients at Costco and make it at home. It'll be cheaper, fresher, and 1,000 times tastier. Have you ever fallen for this one? Or maybe you've found a way to doctor it up. Let us know in the comments. Number 9. Mac and cheese. Few foods scream comfort more than a big tray of mac and cheese. And Costco's version looks like a winner. It's massive, it's golden, and it has that gooey, bubbling cheese that makes you think, yep, dinner is sorted. But here's the twist. This one manages to be both too heavy and completely bland at the same time. Weird, right? People say it's greasy, it's dense, and yet somehow it has no real flavor. It's like they forgot the basics: salt, pepper, and that sharp kick you want from good cheese. The reason? A lot of folks online believe Costco cheats a bit by using a pre-made Alfredo sauce as the base. And if that sauce is bland, then no amount of cheese dumped on top is going to save it. The result is a tray that looks rich, but tastes flat. Listen to this frustrated review from a Costco shopper. "I bought this thinking the grandkids would love it. Instead, it was a greasy brick of pasta with barely any cheese flavor. I ended up adding salt, garlic powder, and cheddar from my own fridge just to make it edible. Honestly, I should have just made my own." And that's the real problem. You have to work too hard to fix it. Mac and cheese is supposed to be one of the easiest comfort foods out there. If you're paying for convenience, you shouldn't have to play chef just to make it taste decent. Verdict? Hard pass. For the same money, you can grab Costco pasta, a block of real cheese, and make a version at home that's creamier, cheesier, and way more satisfying. But maybe you've had a different experience. Are you team Costco Mac is fine or team never again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious on this one. Number 8. Shepherd's Pie. Few meals feel more comforting than shepherd's pie. A warm, hearty filling under a blanket of mashed potatoes. It's the kind of dinner that makes you think of cozy nights in. Costco's tray looks like it's built to feed an army. And, on first glance, it feels like a bargain family meal. But here's the catch. Once you dig in, the magic disappears fast. The potatoes, which should be creamy and fluffy, are often described as mealy and watery. The filling underneath? Mushy vegetables, overcooked meat, and a flavor that just feels off. Some people say it even has a weird sweetness that doesn't belong in a savory pie. And here's a fun fact for the food purists out there. Technically, it's not even a shepherd's pie. Real shepherd's pie is made with lamb. Costco's version uses beef, which makes it a cottage pie. Not a deal breaker, but it shows a lack of attention to detail. One review summed it up perfectly. Bought this, thinking it would be an easy dinner. The potatoes were watery, the meat filling tasted oddly sweet, and nobody in my family wanted seconds. Total waste of money. So, whether you call it shepherd's pie or cottage pie, the verdict is the same. Big tray, small payoff. It looks comforting, but the texture and flavor don't deliver. What do you think? Are you one of the rare fans of Costco's version? Or do you agree it misses the mark? And more importantly, are you a stickler about the whole shepherd's pie versus cottage pie debate? Let's hear it in the comments. Number 7. The Bacon Cheddar Burger Kit. On the surface, this sounds like a slam dunk. Burgers are a weeknight classic, and a kit that gives you patties, cheese, bacon, and toppings should be the ultimate shortcut. A backyard cookout in a box, right? Well, not so fast. Costco left out something kind of important. The buns. Yep, a burger kit without buns. It's like selling a PB and J kit with no bread. It just doesn't make sense. And the problems don't stop there. The patties come pre-cooked, which sounds convenient, but when you heat them up, people say they turn into dry little hockey pucks. Then there's the produce. The lettuce and tomatoes often look sad and wilted straight out of the package, which doesn't exactly scream fresh burger night. Here's how one shopper put it. Grabbed this thinking it would be a quick dinner. First off, no buns, so I had to make another stop. Then the patties heated up like shoe leather, and the lettuce was already brown. For the price, I felt ripped off. And that's the real problem. It's not cheap. At over $6 a pound, you're paying premium prices for something you could throw together better and cheaper by just buying fresh ground beef and toppings yourself. Bottom line, this kit is a classic case of a good idea ruined by poor execution. If you're craving burgers, Costco has plenty of options, but this kit isn't one of them. Would you consider a burger kit without buns a deal breaker? Or do you think it's still worth a shot if you add your own fix? I'd love to hear what you think. Number 6. The pre-made wraps. At first glance, these seem like the ultimate convenience food. A big tray of wraps ready to go, perfect for school lunches, a quick bite at work, or even as an easy party platter. No cooking, no fuss, just grab and eat. But here's the problem. Unless you eat them the exact same day you buy them, they don't hold up. The tortillas soak up all the moisture from the fillings, and by the next day, you've got a soggy, unappetizing mess. The turkey pinwheels are especially guilty of this. They're small, which means more tortilla compared to filling, and they fall apart fast. And that's not just me saying it. One parent shared their experience. I bought the big tray of turkey pinwheels on Sunday, planning to use them for school lunches during the week. By Monday afternoon, they were already mushy, and the kids refused to touch them. Ended up tossing more than half. Total waste of money. Now, to be fair, the chicken wraps with Costco's famous rotisserie chicken get slightly better reviews in terms of flavor, but the same issue remains. They just don't last. For the price, that lack of staying power makes them a bad choice if you're trying to meal prep. So, verdict. If you're eating them the day of, they can work in a pinch. But if you're looking for something to last, skip the tray and just grab the tortillas, deli meat, and chicken from Costco to make fresher wraps at home. You'll save money and avoid the soggy disappointment. What about you? Do you have a go-to Costco wrap you actually like? Or do you avoid these altogether? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Number 5. The Gyro Meal Kit. This one feels exciting when you first see it. A box filled with pita bread, seasoned meat, fresh veggies, and tzatziki sauce. It looks like a mini Greek feast ready to go. For busy nights, that sounds like a lifesaver. But here's the catch. It's a gamble every single time. Some days the veggies are crisp and fresh. Other days, you open the box and the lettuce is wilted. The tomatoes are mushy, and suddenly your feast feels pretty sad. Then there's the meat. It should be the star of the show, but people complain it's often dry, under-seasoned, and shrinks down a lot when you heat it. A kit that claims to feed 5 might barely stretch to feed 3 once it's cooked. And the tzatziki? Honestly, that's where this kit really falls apart. Instead of being tangy, garlicky, and refreshing, it's watery and bland. Without good sauce, a gyro just doesn't work. One Costco shopper nailed it in their review. I thought this would be an easy dinner, but the meat shrank to half the size, the tzatziki had no flavor, and I ended up adding garlic and dill from my own kitchen. By the time I was done fixing it, I realized I'd basically paid $25 for something that wasn't even as good as just ordering takeout. And that's the point. When the price is this close to what you'd spend at a local Greek restaurant, why settle for something just okay? If you're craving gyros, skip the kit and treat yourself to the real deal. So what do you think? Are you on Team Costco gyros are fine or Team just call the Greek place? I want to hear where you land on this one. Number 4. Chicken Alfredo. This one is a perfect example of Costco's big portions, low price trap. You see that giant 4-pound tray of creamy pasta and think, yes, this will feed the whole family without breaking the bank. At first glance, it looks rich and satisfying. Lots of sauce, chunks of chicken, plenty of noodles. But once you dig in, disappointment sets in quick. The sauce is heavy and greasy, but somehow bland at the same time, kind of like the mac and cheese we talked about earlier. The pasta is almost always overcooked and mushy. And the chicken, which should be the highlight, is often rubbery and tough, like it's been reheated too many times. Worse yet, some shoppers even mention a strange aftertaste in the sauce, almost chemical. That's not exactly what you want to hear when you're serving dinner to your family. One parent shared their frustration. I thought this would save me time, but it actually created more work. The sauce was like glue. The chicken was so rubbery, my kids refused to eat it. And I ended up draining grease and adding my own cream, garlic, and parmesan just to make it edible. Honestly, I could have cooked pasta and chicken myself in less time. And that's the real issue. Sure, the price per pound is low, but if you have to spend time fixing it, or worse, tossing it out, it stops being a deal. Verdict? This is a skip. Buy a rotisserie chicken, a box of pasta, and some real parmesan instead. You'll get a fresher, tastier meal in less time and with less frustration. Have you ever tried rescuing Costco's chicken Alfredo? Did you find a trick that worked? Or do you think it's a lost cause? Let me know in the comments. Number 3. The chicken pot pie. Now, this one is a heartbreaker. When you first see Costco's pot pie, It looks like pure comfort food in a pan. Over 5 pounds of flaky crust, creamy filling, rotisserie chicken, and veggies. It feels like the perfect family dinner, especially around the holidays. But here's the problem. It's completely hit or miss. Some people complain it's a salt bomb, while others say it has almost no seasoning at all. It's like playing flavor roulette. And even though Costco brags about loading it with more than a pound of chicken, that doesn't necessarily help. All that meat can make the filling dense and dry, instead of creamy and cozy. And then there's the cooking time. For something marketed as a convenient meal, it takes an hour and a half to bake. That's 90 minutes. In that time, you could make a homemade pot pie from scratch that tastes 10 times better. So much for convenience. Here's a shopper's experience that sums it up. I bought this for Christmas Eve to save time. Big mistake. After waiting 90 minutes for it to cook, the filling turned out way too salty, and the chicken was dry. The crust was fine, but the inside ruined it. Total letdown. So, between the long wait, inconsistent flavor, and disappointing texture, this one's tough to recommend. But here's the thing. This item is divisive. Some people swear by it, others say never again. So I want to know, where do you land in the great Costco chicken pot pie debate? Tradition in your house or one-time regret? Share it in the comments. I'm really curious. Number 2, butter chicken. This one got people excited when it first hit Costco's shelves. Butter chicken is a global favorite. Rich, creamy sauce, tender chicken, none for dipping. In theory, it's a fantastic idea. Restaurant flavors at home without the hassle. But in practice, it just doesn't deliver. The chicken, which should be juicy and flavorful, is often dry and rubbery. And the sauce, the star of the dish, is thin, watery, and flat. Instead of that deep, buttery, spiced flavor you expect, it ends up tasting more like tomato soup. And then there's the naan. The cooking instructions suggest heating everything for 45 minutes, which is way too long for bread. By the time the chicken is hot, the naan is usually dried out or burnt around the edges. Not exactly the cozy meal you were promised. One disappointed fan put it this way, I love butter chicken, so I was thrilled when Costco started carrying it. But the sauce was watery and bland, the chicken was dry, and after following the instructions, the naan was inedible. Honestly, I'd rather spend a couple extra dollars at my local Indian restaurant and get the real thing. And that's the kicker. It's not even that cheap compared to just ordering fresh butter chicken. When the quality is this low and the price is this close to takeout, it stops being a good value. So while the idea is solid, the execution makes it a definite skip. If you're craving butter chicken, do yourself a favor. Support a local restaurant or make your own at home. Have you tried Costco's butter chicken? Did you find a way to make it work? Or was it a total letdown for you too? Drop your take in the comments. Number 1. St. Louis style ribs. Ribs are one of those foods that feel special. Smoky, tender, fall off the bone goodness. You know the kind. So when you see a giant slab of pre-cooked St. Louis style ribs at Costco, it feels like a dream. Just heat, eat, and you've got barbecue night handled. Except that dream falls apart fast. The ribs are fully cooked, but they're not smoked or grilled, which means they're missing that deep barbecue flavor. What you actually get is meat that's mushy in texture and strangely bland, covered in a sticky, overly sweet sauce that tries and fails to make up for it. The worst part? They're expensive. At nearly $7 a pound, you're paying restaurant-level prices for something that tastes closer to microwaved leftovers. For that money, you could buy raw ribs at Costco, season them yourself, and slow cook or grill them into something way better. One review summed it up perfectly. "I thought these would be an easy dinner, but they were mushy. The sauce was way too sweet, and the meat didn't taste fresh. For what I paid, I could have gone to an actual BBQ place and gotten something 100 times better." And that's the real issue. It's not just that they're disappointing, it's that they're disappointing and overpriced. At least with some of Costco's other misses, you can argue that the price makes up for it. But here? No way. So if you're craving ribs, skip these. Either grab raw ribs from Costco's meat section and make them your way, or treat yourself to a local barbecue joint. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you. What about you? Have you braved Costco's ribs? Did you find them edible? Or were they a total flop for you too? Let me know in the comments. And that's our countdown of the 10 prepared meals you might want to skip at Costco. The goal isn't to bash the store, whites, we love Costco, but to help you make smarter choices and avoid wasting money on meals that promise convenience but deliver disappointment. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to join the community. We want to hear from you. What's your favorite prepared meal at Costco? Or is there something we missed that you'd warn others about? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's save each other from dinner disasters. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, stay smart, eat well, and happy shopping.